Section 3.3 Interactive Assignment, preparing for Section 3.3. In this question, it's saying the following data represent the number of potholes on 35 randomly selected 1-mile stretches of highway around a particular city. We're going to complete parts A through D to the right. First thing we want us to do is to construct a frequency distribution of the data. So I'm going to open up the data here. So we have our potholes, and we have a numbers that go from 1 all the way to 7, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to count how many we have for 1. So let's count how many that we have for 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and an 11. So we can see here that the 11 is the frequency for 1. Okay, next, now we want 2. So for 2, we have 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4. And there should be one more, which is 5. So therefore, for 2, we have 5. Okay, and then for 3, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. Okay, and then for 4, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 as well. And then for 5, we have 1, 2. So the frequency for 5 is 2. And then for 6, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for the value of 7, we have 1, 2, and then 3. Okay. And so when we add those all up, we should get a total of 35 as it's stated in the question. So if we come in here, we should have 11, 5, 5, 5, 2, 4, and then 3. Now the next question is to construct a relative frequency distribution of the data. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the value of each frequency and divide it by the total. Okay, now the total is 35. So in the first column, we're going to take that 11 and then divide it by the total of 35 to get 0.314. Okay, next we're going to take the total here, which is 5 of the frequency, and then divide it by the total of 35 to get 0.143. Okay, next we're going to take the total for the frequency of 3, which is 5, and then divide it by the total, which is 35, to get 0.143. And likewise, we're going to take 5 of the frequency there, and then divide that by the total of 35 to get 0.143. Okay, next we have a frequency of 2. And so we're going to divide it by the total frequency, which is 35, to get 0.057. Okay, next we have a frequency of 4, dividing it by the total of 35 to get 0.114. Okay, the next one we have is 3. As the frequency, we're dividing it by the total, 35 to get 0.086. And therefore, there is our relative frequency distribution. So if we take a look at our results, we have for the frequency 0.314, 0.143, 143, 0.143, 0.057, 0.114, and 0.086. And we're rounding it to 3 decimal places as needed. Okay, the next question says, using the results from part B, what percentage of stretches of highway have 3 potholes? So there's 3 potholes, okay? So if we take a look at the 3 potholes here, so this represents the 3 potholes, and then we're going to convert 0.14, we're going to multiply that by 100%, and so therefore that's going to give us 14.3%. So therefore we would then say that For the percentage, it is 14.3%. Okay, and then the next question says, use the results from part B. What percentage of the stretches of highway have 5 or more potholes? Okay, so of 5 or more potholes. So that means these all represent 5 or more. So that means if we multiply this by 100%, this gives us 5.7%. If we multiply this by 100%, this gives us 11.4%. And if we multiply this by 100%, then this gives us 8.6%. Okay, and then we're going to add these all together. 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 7 is going to give us 17. Carry the 1, and we have 8 plus 1 plus 2 is 5. So that's 15. Carry the 1, and so we get a total of 25.7%. So therefore, the 5 or more represents 25.7%.